Glory, I have 2 boys. Today I can say I don't have bread. So I'm going to go rob a bank. I get caught, and then I expect everybody to sympathize with me. But how if that was a choice that I made on my own?
Yeah, get that.
So again, it's once I've been saying that all around to Ashley or to Mata or to Nsuku, now the production is picking it up and creating and editing this narrative as if I'm victimizing KB. At some points when she explained her story, I was even half asleep, but I just saw her crying and I was like, let me go and also comfort her, because she was comforting me as much as it was annoying about my sister's situation. Let me go back and give her the same hand, you know. And when I got there, I'm asking her, are you crying because you were violated, or are you crying because you're sleeping with different men? But if it's the different men part, I can understand, because sometimes it's easier to sleep with your age mate, but now if you're going to have to sleep with somebody's father, you know, they will probably make you do things that you don't like, and you feel yourself that you've been robbed of something. So I could understand and some sort of relate from that. But again, Bonnie B is insensitive by asking me these questions. I'm victimizing her. So again, I just want people to understand, guys, these are 2 different things that we're talking about. And yes, they can be 2 different traumas. But again, I've been saying throughout, standing on my business, that one side I understand, but the other I'm not, because it's a choice that she made. And I said even on the show, she could have gotten a job. She could have worked at Spur, worked at ShopRite, at Spar, at Woolworths, washed people's clothes. Like, there's other options. And maybe if she wasn't exposed to those other options, we can't, as people, want to sympathize with the choice that she made, that she thought was right for her own life, but something that she has no control over. As people, we can sympathize with her because that's something that was done onto her. You understand?
Yeah.
Subscribe for your girl, because
And when you think me, I'm the only problem standing in the way of being with Mshini. She's a wall of Jericho, I'm telling you. Because me, I can accept and move on. But of course, with
wall of Jericho.
Yeah.
the girls' gang versus the guys' gang, and with the guys, you have Ashley in, and they had a beautiful display of performance, but it is the tail end where they had to use crates to create church. Ashley and Sweet Guluva had to pass through like ta-na-na-na, ta-na-na, and they got married on the first day of February, the month of love. But as we are happy, Wahala Day. So yesterday, Nate was crying. Whilst Nate was crying, the same time, Mshini was outside with Beekay. Somehow, you would just think that she's crying because the guy has had his way. But come to think of it, Swizz was the first person to approach her, and she allegedly said, Jojo has touched her by the shoulder. She did not like it, and that girl did too much. But when Swizz went to tell Tyrone, and Tyrone went over to have convo with girl now said that she's not happy because Jojo does not know when to stop, and she wants to question her sexuality, and she's not ready to delve into it, and it's creating some sort of misunderstanding. Boy wanted to find out, did she say anything about your sexuality that hurts? Then boy is like, yeah, she felt uncomfortable, but at the right time he would want to talk about it. The next thing is Ashley joining the conversation, and girl now changing from shoulder to an oral assault to saying that Jojo does not know when to stop. And the fact that I allowed a kiss yesterday does not mean I'll allow a kiss today. And that is the problem now. And she does not want her to feel uncomfortable too. But Jojo made her feel uncomfortable. Actually, now I want to know, girl, I'm very touchy. Have I stepped on you too? She said no. Then she said with the whole thing of KB and how she got evicted, she want to preserve herself. That is coming from Ashley. Fortunately for you and I, whilst Nate was crying, you have Ashley asking the most important question. Did you tell Jojo that you don't like what was happening? She said no. I was laughing about it and she did not stop. It is 9-9, and whilst Jojo was complaining to the guys that she got beaten by her man, more like hit, They also drew her attention to something that Nate does not like and is going around telling certain people, and it has raped them because they are the most closest to the girl. Then she said, what did I do? Then they are like, yeah, she said you abused her. Maybe you are not aware. You know she's sensitive. Then she's like, oh, then why didn't she complain? I need to go talk to her. Then they said it's late. Do so in the morning. Then she agreed. So now she now added that she understands something that a normal girl would do to a normal girl. A little spank, like, hey, you look good. With her, she'll be sensitive, so she understands. Maybe she'll have to avoid her. It's a new day. She goes wanting to talk to Nate. Nate said it is okay. She is not feeling comfortable talking about it again. But Nate is telling people, especially audience, and people kind of feel she's playing a very dangerous game. Those who like Nate are also of the opinion that, oh, you people are lying. Nate never said it is a physical touch. She's talking about a conversation about her sexuality that she's not ready to address. Then some are like, oh, when Nate is ready to address her sexuality, how about her also advising herself? Because there are instances that she has led these girls on, making them feel it's okay. So she initiates and they also action and reaction, only to have a U-turn and act like she's not comfortable. Jojo, Mandy are likely to be her next victims. I posted videos days back after the KB situation saying that I fear for Jojo, and one of these days, that girl with her coconut head will be a victim of Nate. Is Nate allowed to do what she's doing? It's a game plan. So no wahala. I keep saying it's for you to be human and for you not to be human and going strictly according to the game. It does not mean under normal circumstances like that. It could be she is a very sweet person on the outside. That is not a topic for discussion today. But Yo-Yo is in trouble. To think Nate does not want to discuss the situation and she is crying. Hello, welcome to Von Peppy GH. Thank you so much for clicking. Now, wanna too much.
I don't know if you want to apologize to her. You can. You know, that's
not now though.
No, not now. She's sleeping.
Nate tickles Tyrone by the elbow area and boy went like, I'm a virgin, whilst avoiding her. Conversation going on the outside between Beekay and Nsuku. I kind of feel they wanted to avoid camera, but camera went there. This is what we could hear. Nsuku is saying that Nate is not being completely honest with you about her sexuality. According to her, she thinks the girl is bisexual and does not want to reveal it because it is part of her game plan. Boy is like, really? And he kept quiet with a smile on his face. Girl is like, yeah, I think so. And for your information, if your ship with Mshini will go well or it will not go well, it will not be dependent on me. It will be dependent on Nate. Because as for me, the moment I see that ship sailing, I will have no problem backing off. But the problem is Nate. She is like the wall of Jericho. You need to bypass her to be able to be with Mshini because you will not see what is coming. Nsuku added that she wouldn't have problem if boy cannot be with her and would want to be with Mshini. She would prefer that to boy being around Nate because Nate is a lesbian. So for you to be around somebody who is a lesbian and has openly ignored you, that will be a slap on your face and on the face of your family.
Yeah.
You, what was your immediate reaction?
Okay, firstly, I thought I was getting disqualified. I even said to Nsuku, I'm going home. Then secondly, after he issued that, I was like, okay, it's fine. That was the punishment that I got. I acknowledge and okay, cool. I take full accountability. Then it was like, now I feel like the production has literally cut and edited this whole clip about Bonnie B and Ashley and made a narrative of Bonnie, of which it's not shown in full everything I've been saying. And it's still the same thing that I've been saying through every interview that I've been on, that I sympathize with one half, but the other half I don't sympathize. So at what point do they feel like I was victimizing KB? At what point do they feel like I was victimizing this person? On the other hand, Ashley was like, I wanted KB to test me because I'm going to say to her, are you crying because you were violated? And I never said any of that. I just kept saying one and the same thing through and through, Glory, that one side I sympathize, the other side I don't sympathize. And I'll always elaborate on the side that I don't sympathize with, you know? So when I go to my girls it's tears of saying, you know, this house, and I'm speaking, and I was breaking down because of the housemates, not because of the punishment, you know. I was breaking down because I'm like, now everybody's going to go and sympathize with her, but nobody cares to think, what is Bonnie thinking? How is Bonnie feeling also? And obviously nobody's going to do that because Bonnie's a loudmouth, Bonnie's a bitch, Bonnie's like this, Bonnie's like that, and they have their own perception of me. So I won't get the sympathy that KB has, and of which I wasn't even expecting that. But I'm saying, as normal, as people within the house, and as human as we can be, guys, we cannot focus on one side of the elephant and think it's an elephant. Because if you have to turn it around and it's a rhino, then what?
Exactly. Exactly.
So that moment of me crying was just that yo, are these housemates, like, come on, really? And I can feel you guys pulling away from me or distancing yourself like I've got a bad stench.
Let's drift away from the house and let's talk about Bonnie B, who is granting interview to Gloria Linda on YT and also on X platform. Let's do summary. So girl talked about the whole situation. Now, she said after the Thursday party, KB has stepped on her. And with Nate and some people around, she said she was going to use KB's situation against her. And she laughed. And she said Nate was there and Nate was also laughing. Until Nsuku said, that is not good. Don't say that. And she said, oh, I apologize. I don't mean it. I don't mean it. I can never do that. I was just saying it because she's been hurting me a lot. So she alleges that for Nate to wait till Saturday after that Thursday to make a capital statement of a conversation she apologized with Nate there, Nate is a snake. And she says she can't also accept why when production was playing her guilt video, they didn't add that she said she didn't mean it, but ended at she laughing, and she didn't even see Nate laughing in it. She moves on to also talk about other things. She said that is the only instance she said something bad about KB, because over the time she's a woman of two, and when she even heard housemates dragging KB low-key, say that, oh, we don't find your condom, wait till you say you didn't do it, you and the boy did it. The boy self, they admit low-key. That girl broke down feeling shame. So she approached her wanting to find out, girl, are you crying because of what's going on upstairs, or it is reminding you of your past and what is going on in your mind? So she's surprised that KB used her empathy shown her as a weapon against her, and people are not even looking for that video, and people feel she was in the wrong. And she's a mother. There was no way that she approached her to go rebuke her, but she rather went there to have lady-to-lady conversation to be able to understand how she felt. Now, she's also talking about this whole thing of other things that has happened in the house and why fans repeatedly feel she is a villain and Ashley is a saint. Because coming on the outside, she's seen, heard a lot, and it tells the bias standard on the street. She now hops on to also talk about the apology thing, saying that she apologized. She didn't know it didn't show out. She did. And if she was saying it one-on-one with KB, then she would understand that production needed to concentrate on other important storylines. But she said it in front of more than half of the house. Why did she do that? She said because she knows KB. She didn't want KB to go twist narrative. More like, oh, that girl apologized. It was not legit. So she wanted to do it with more housemates knowing, so that when she wants narrative change, people will know that, girl, we were there. Wrap it up. Because she felt uncomfortable that she did something wrong, but she didn't do excessively wrong, because she admitted at the spot that, oh, I'm lying, I'm not going to use it against her. So for the tape to be played halfway, she was equally feeling sad. She added that from that day onwards, so she got evicted, there was this whole kumbaya of everybody empathizing with KB, but no one sought to ask her side of the story. So somehow it's a blessing she got evicted, because it was too much for her. She thinks production edited instances where she said, I did not mean it, and they edited part where Nate laughed, and they also did not show her apology, and they also did not show her showing empathy to girl when she was lonely and crying. And it is what it is. She thinks a lot had gone too wrong for production to even help because fans outside did not like her. This is the summary of what she said. Personally, I think she should wrap it up. She's making a statement of fact that I saw A, I didn't see B, why cut it? But one thing she should know is you can never have beef with industry players because they can be somehow radical and they can hurt you with your career. And another thing is she's had interview with Gloria. She's also had interview with Trenza. Then she's had interview right after the eviction. I'm hoping it ends there until reunion so that people who hate him a lot, people deliberately tend to misunderstand her so that they don't use it against her and she doesn't get in the wrong books of production. Some Ashley fans are beginning to blame her for saying that Ashley has said a lot and say that, girl, you said worse. But some Ashley fans on the other hand also feel like, of course, they admit their girl has been too much, but they love her regardless of her faults, and it is her that they don't like, so she should know this and know peace. And on the whole, you also have her saying that whatever Nate is doing is Nate's game strategy, so she cannot beef Nate that much, and she thinks that KB was not totally innocent in the house because unknown to fans, whenever there is an activity like arena games, like party, pool party, there is this thing of KB deciding to wear this, but maybe when she spots one or two people wearing that, it draws her attention. Oh, I have this in my bag, I need that one. It is that time that she'll be like, Savage, come here, I need my bag pulled down. Go through it. You see a wear looking like ABC, give it out to me. Iron it, I need to put on. And according to her, most of the girls saw how that girl talked to the young man. So she kind of felt like going closer to Savage to humble KB because KB is not her person like that. A girl who looks down on men cannot be somebody that she would want to associate with. So it is what it is. They want to also find out, did you plan with KB to run shift with the guy? Then she said not entirely, but it was suggested. She did not agree, but she went in for it her own way because she did not like KB like that. But this is what is happening in the world of entertainment as well as bbmzansi is concerned. Stick and stay as we unravel the Yo-Yo Nate situation. I don't know why Sweet Guluva would do this, but he has also told Luzuko that Mshini likes him. I don't know whether it's because of what's going on between Mshini and Beekay. So all of a sudden, you have Luzuko having a handshake with Mshini. Okay. But Mshini does not like Luzuko like that. No wahala. Now a girl is doing laundry, boy goes there, engages in conversation only to go touch her hand all of a sudden and go like, I like this. Girl is like the tattoo. I even want to cover it. Boy is like, no. She kept talking and talking. Boy is like the beats. Girl is like, really? But this is for girls. Then he's like, regardless, I like it. If you give it to me, I'm like, okay. By the time this girl will clock it out, she'll go looking for that boy to beat him up. He is also busy shaving the guys. They are hard, wanting them to look lit. So his woman Ashley will be braiding Kerus with Sepesole whilst he will be giving them haircuts. How about that? Anyway, there was a dance challenge earlier today. Like I said, the guys with Ashley and the ladies. Which group did it for you? You take in the comment section. Adios.